Okay. I love the song from Spice Girls. Like, yo, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna. And then we're going to fill in the blank. Okay. So I'm so excited for this podcast episode of really unpacking what your dream clients really, really want. When we can pinpoint what they really, really want, it just becomes a matter of time before you fill up your whole entire client roster, because when people really, really, really want something, they make it happen. They move mountains. Price does not even matter anymore, right? Time does not matter anymore. If they really, really want something, they will find a way. Like, truly, truly, truly. But it may already be there with your offer, but are we communicating that to people? So this is where the disconnect can happen where they're like, I am looking for this thing and I really, really want it, but who has it? And they keep scrolling past you, and then you're on the other side and you're just like pulling out your hair and you're like, what is happening? I know I am so good at what I do, and I know that I've gotten people results, and I keep showing up on social media. Like, why is this not working? Right? And so I'm just so excited for you, because this is going to change the game for you. When you start to incorporate this, not only in your marketing, but most importantly, your actual sales. Okay, your sales process, whether is on your sales pages or in sales calls. When you can know all of these things, okay, it can make it so much easier for people to say yes. There are so many capital funding opportunities out there, financing out there. People can find the financing and they can find the time when they know what you've got is what they want, and it's so irresistible. It's too hard to say no to, because they know that they really, really want it. Okay, so let's get into it today. Our podcast episode is sponsored by my girl, Kristen Rourke. She is truly the real deal. She is the CEO and founder of Busy Mom Bod. And I am telling you, this woman is going places, and I want you to make sure that you're following her. She just has literally the sweetest soul ever, and she's helping busy moms reconnect with themselves and feel their very best, which I can't think of a more important mission. You can find her at the Busy Mom Bod, BOD.com. Make sure you're following her on social media, Kristen Rourke, as well. But if you are a mama and you are feeling like your health and fitness is getting put on the back burner, she is the most amazing human. So you can have the energy to do everything that I help you do, right? Together, we're like a dynamic duo, because you need the energy to go attract dream clients, right? Like, we still want them coming to you, but like, to get you in that energy, you actually have to have true, authentic energy. And so creating a healthy lifestyle is how we do that. So contact Kristen Rourke, busymombod.com, and she can help you get the energy so we can actually build your client roster and get you sold out. So let's talk about this. Let's unpack how we actually figure out what this is, okay? So the easiest way to do this is to go talk to them, right? And you don't have to be awkward or weird about it, but just being around dream clients and having organic conversations with them, you are really going to know what is in their way, what they desire, by just them talking. Okay. So let's figure out how you can do this. Okay. So you could do this in a more organic way. Okay, where you are just like hanging out in the DMs, talking to them. Maybe you ask certain questions to them. You can do this in a more formal way where you say, hey, I'm putting together, a private panel of people, and I really just want to have like an open conversation, give you some value, support you for free. There's no strings attached. There's no pitch, but just want to like get people on a Zoom call, if you will, to connect and talk through and work through things. Okay. So you can do it in a more formal way like that. My favorite way is to like spend one-on-one time with people. So you could set up coffee dates, whether they're virtual or in person, lunch dates, walking dates, but you can just really understand people more when you spend time with them. And I want you to think of them just as much as you would think of them as a friend, right? When you're with a friend, whether it's in person or on the phone or on Zoom, you just start to talk, right? And it may start with more surface level, depending on how much like trust you have with them, but you can build trust with somebody really, really quickly. And it can get deeper and deeper and deeper. And you can really start to understand what is most important to your people. Okay. So let's pretend that we're on a call right now and I am telling you everything, right? If this was a call, let's say a month ago, I was so overwhelmed. I had just so much that I wanted to do. I did not have childcare. I was just exhausted because we went through like we're still going through it, but a stretch of really like very sleepless nights. And so it was like this tug of war, right? And here's another like fun fact for you. When you're talking to people, start using their words in your marketing. Okay. So like I had recently a call with somebody and she said these exact words. She said, I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel and everything and everyone comes before me. Those were her exact words. I can now take those words because she's not the only one and I can start to create solutions, right? For people online saying, hey, do you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel and everything and everyone is coming before yourself? Here's 3 ways to shift from that to you being at the top of your to-do list and you feeling amazing and thriving. Boom, 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 boom. Call to action, right? Those are the exact words that somebody said, and I can use those for good to help other people, right? A lot of times when we get in our own head about, copy and words and like what to say and how to attract people, it's because we're trying to think about ourselves and not about the other person. So how I really start to understand my person is to spend more and more time with them. There was a week at the beginning of the year that I did like a free coaching week and it was on the go coaching. There is so much that I learned by doing that. I supported them for a whole week. There was no pitch after. It was just like I wanted to like give back. And I'm so glad that I did it because again, they were all dream clients and I just learned so much. A lot of times we don't have a full client roster because there's other things that we need to do to get ready for them, to attract them, right? And so this is one of the biggest things that you can do to really attract them is truly understand them. Because when somebody feels seen and heard, they want to feel supported, right? When they feel seen and heard, they want to feel supported. And so they will pay for the support once they feel recognized, once they feel acknowledged, once they feel noticed, right? And then we can hop into the support, okay? So again, we really want to understand where they're at, where they're going, and what is in their way so we can really start communicating to them in a language that they actually understand. When we don't do this exercise and do it often, we start to talk in a different language on social media, and then people are just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't get her. I'm just going to keep scrolling and keep scrolling. She's cute, right? She seems nice, but it's not enough for them to like make it feel irresistible. Okay. And how we make something feel irresistible is again, making somebody feel seen and heard, not the bells and whistles. Like bonuses are great. Extra time with you is fantastic, but it's still very surface level. No one really cares about how you accomplish something. They care about the outcome the most, right? Yes. Is it sexy to go to Disney? Is it sexy to get like a welcome gift? For sure. Have those things, do those things, but there's still going to be a disconnect if we're not understanding what people are really desiring. Sell the outcome all day, every day. And there may be multiple outcomes as well. And it can't be vague shit like time freedom. That's too vague. Vague gets vague results, okay? When we get very, very specific, we get very, very specific results, right? And so I need you to like be able to paint a picture for somebody. Like, a lot of times, like, okay, we'll take this week. This week on Friday, I literally am getting a 90-minute facial, okay? And I am getting my nails done. I might go for a walk, get a smoothie or something like that. So in stories, I can be so specific with my dream client and be like, there was a time where I was not able to do this on a Friday and do it stress-free. And this is like my life every single week, right? I'm getting a facial. I'm getting my nails done on a freaking Friday, stress-free. That is so much more specific than time freedom to have self-care. Do you see the difference, right? Because that person can immediately visualize themselves being like, oh, I want that. And then they're instantly going to pay more attention to when I hop back into stories, right? With a business tip, with an invitation to work with us, right? To join our membership, to work with me one-on-one, right? It's not your offer that gets people excited. It's what it can do for somebody, right? And so if we're not so sure on that for ourselves, then someone else isn't sure on it either, right? And you may be sure on what it does, but maybe we're not talking about it enough. And I really don't believe you can talk about it too much. Okay. So there's always room for improvement here. And so I just really want you to grab a pen and paper, and you can do this before you start talking to people, but I really want you to think about like, what does my offer truly do for somebody, right? And get as specific as you possibly can. I will never forget, there was a sales call that I was on years ago, and I was sharing all my frustration and stress, and their offer helped eliminate that stress. And he asked the question, how quickly would you like this stress to go away? And I said, yesterday. And he was like, okay, that helps me understand where you're at. And it was one of the best sales questions. I still remember it to this day as a buyer, because it was just a very potent question to ask that really helped him understand where I'm at in the buying process. And I'm not just like shopping around. I'm like, no, I want this pain to go away. Now, I do believe in selling pleasure, which is what I'm having you do here, but it is important to understand what pain points your person is having, and then how can we transform those into pleasure. So if it does help you to understand that piece of it, right? Like how I mentioned earlier, a month ago, I was overwhelmed and I didn't have childcare. I'm a whole different human now because I created the solution, which is childcare. I was not even worried about the price because I knew I needed more balance. That's how it becomes irresistible, right? You can do this for your current offers, and this will instantly make them more sexy. Truly. You don't need to add any more calls. You don't need to add any more modules. You don't need to add any more bonuses. This is the missing piece that you're most likely not articulating and communicating to the level that we need in order to attract those dream clients. And remember, you're seeing all of your content, so it's going to feel like a lot, but only a percentage of that content is being seen to your dream clients, right? And really, when you're talking about pleasure, you can't talk about it too much, right? I'm going to be talking about the facial on Friday, getting my nails done. I'm trying to think what's happening next week. Like, I can keep talking about pleasure and over in different ways and be more and more specific and provide the call to actions, right? And keep going and keep going and keep going. And it will never be enough because you can never have too much pleasure, right? And when I keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that over and over and over again, people need to hear something a ridiculous amount of times before they even think about buying, right? And so this is not a one and done thing. You get to keep doing this. And guess what? When you keep doing this, okay, it's going to become a habit. I don't even think about it in the way that I'm describing it now because it's just a habit. I'm so genuinely excited to share my life because there was a point where I was charging groceries and had $50,000 of student loan debt and was working 80 hours a week, getting paid $15 an hour, and did not get to spend time with my husband. I was 40 pounds heavier, right? And so I'm just giddy to share my life now because I want so many women to feel what I feel. And so I'm just genuinely so excited to be my best testimony and share it with other people to see what they can do in our programs when they work on themselves, when they're in community, when they're coachable, when they show up. And I just think it's the most important thing ever. And so this has become a habit that I don't even think about it. It just happens. And this will start to become a habit for you where you're not having to try so hard to be like, oh yes, I need a call to action. Oh yes, I need to like share pleasure or talk about it or, understand what my person wants and make it more irresistible. It'll just become second nature to you. It really, really will. Even if you're like, oh, it doesn't right now, it will. The more we do it, just like anything, will become second nature for you. So we're going to have to be more strategic and more disciplined in the beginning. So set alarms for yourself, put a post-it note, put it in your task management tool. But the best thing that you can do from this podcast episode is truly be around your dream clients more without trying to sell them. And you will hear so many snippets of what they really, really desire at the end of the day, right? A lot of times, people that I work with, they don't want their kids to feel what they have felt. And so I know that that is so deeply important to my people. It's deeply important to me, right? If your product, program, or service is something like you're your best like origin story, you can also like think about you, like, and think about like at the beginning of your journey, the middle of your journey, where you're at now, like what has really supported you, right? What have you really needed? What's your motivation to keep going, right? Whether it's health and fitness, business coaching, a product that you're selling, but you can also think about you. So I want you to just get this like brainstorm going of like, okay, my person really deeply desires to lose weight. Why does she like want to lose weight, right? And just keep going and going and going. You can get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, but all of this is creating such powerful pieces of content. And more than that, it's just really getting you a deep understanding of who your person is, what motivates them, what they desire, and we can really start talking to them, not at them, whether it is to the masses on social or on your email, or just one-on-one when you're on a sales call and you're like, okay, I really understand what you need and want, and this is how I can help you, right? Again, when somebody feels seen and heard, they will pay for the support, hands down, every single time. It may take, again, it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, they see one post and then they buy unless they're like really, really needing it. But over time, when you do this, you will continue to see people move mountains to work with you. And I cannot wait for that moment. And just for you to come back and be like, Nellie, you're so right. I didn't need to add another call for somebody to say yes. Like I just needed to understand more about where they're at and where they're going and be able to talk with them, not at them. Make sure that they feel so seen and heard, genuinely seen and heard, and then I can support them. You're already so fucking good at what you do. We don't need to worry about that. We just need to communicate in a language that people understand to bring them in faster. Okay? This can still happen quickly when you do it over and over and over and over again. Okay? So based on this podcast episode, feel free to DM me what questions you have, what actions that you're taking. I love hearing from you. You never bother me. I truly love what I do. I'm going to hop off here. I have a one-on-one client that I'm super excited about, a new one. So I'm going to go. I love you so much. You're amazing. The best thing that you can do is go talk to a dream client just to talk to them, not to sell them. All right. Make it a great day.